Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuque,
David Wynn.
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in any market. Today, guys, we've got a couple of guests from Florida. We've got Craig Fawcett with Click and Close and the Dubuque team. And Craig, brother, you've got a guest with you. We're going to let you do the honors today. Who did you bring along?
Well, I brought Luz Colon, and not only is she an amazing realtor, she has some other talents. I got to know her probably a year or two before we actually met because I saw her singing at church every week. And what an awesome voice she has. And she also has an awesome presence here in the real estate market in the Tampa Bay area. So I'm excited to have her join us. I'm looking forward to hearing her story.
Welcome to the show, Luz, and maybe by the end of the show, maybe we can get you to belt out a few notes. We got to hear those pipes.
Sounds like an American Idol moment.
Luz, I can tell by your shirt you're coming from Keller Williams, and sounds like you represent the Tampa Bay area. Talk a little bit about that. Tell us about yourself, how you got into the industry.
Yeah, so I do service over 6 or 7 counties. I have a team. We're with Keller Williams, Suburban Tampa, the Ivix Group. I just started the team a couple months ago, and alongside with my husband, he actually came up with the name. And we actually have our ribbon cutting at the end of this month. And I've been doing real estate it'll be 4 years in August. And I got into it because of my dad. He's an appraiser.
That's awesome. So born into the business. We hear that too often, right, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ribbon cutting ceremony. Let's hear about that. What date? What time? What's the location? How do we get there?
So yeah, because we're starting the team and we're expanding and bigger and new things, I wanted to do. When I was with another brokerage, I had started a team and I learned from my mistakes, and pretty much people say you didn't fail, you learned, right? So I learned, and I wanted to start new. I joined Keller Williams in January. It has been awesome. The people that I have met to be on my team that have come over, like, I know that they're going to be on my team for a while, right? Like, for a long time. And I always tell them, like, I believe, I'm like how the Lord says, reach, teach, send. I don't expect everyone to stay on my team forever. I will disciple you, I guess, in a way, show you my ways. And if you want me as your tribe, if you want the team as a tribe, then if not, we send you on, we bless you. And, you're still family. So I look at it, I guess, a little bit differently, but with the ribbon cutting, it's just us starting fresh. It's us saying, it's prophetic for us to, it's new beginnings. We're gonna break that ribbon. We're gonna cut it, and we're gonna say right here, this is where we're a breakout moment, and we're just gonna dominate, and we're gonna be light. And we don't take real estate seriously. This isn't about the money for us. This is about helping people. It's about educating people. And so yeah, pretty much it's something that means a lot to us. I know a lot of teams don't do it. It's not like we're opening our own office or anything like that. I mean, it's in the works. It's in the future. It's something I would like, with the in-house lender, in-house title, everything under the sun. But
You'll get it.
it's for us. It's just showing people here we are and we're not going anywhere.
Well, I think what you're saying is we've got a vision. We know what that vision is. And the cutting of that ribbon is, hey, this is us putting this vision into motion. That's awesome. And I'm going to go back and say what I said. You're going to achieve those goals with, the office and the in-house lender and title, because guess what? People that set forth a plan, put it in motion and take action will achieve what they want to achieve as long as they do that first part, which is taking action. You got to take action, and you're taking action. You're taking the time to say, hey, this is important to us. This is what we want to establish. And here it is. Today's the day. We're breaking that ribbon, and this is the beginning of something great. So it sounds like you're in the industry for all the right reasons, which is having fun and helping people. And I love that, because when we talk to the great agents, the ones that are doing phenomenal things and having great success, that's the thing that we hear in common every single time. It's not, I'm in this for a quick buck and I want to make money. Sure, we'll make money, but that comes with helping people. And if you get that part right, the serving and the helping, man, let me tell you something. There's a world of gifts that come back in your favor because you're doing it for the right things.
Yes.
So tell us
Yes.
about, getting into the industry and getting to the point that you are today. How long have you been doing this again? How many years?
4 years.
4. It'll be 4 in August. It should be 5. My dad tried to get me to do it, and I told him no. Yeah. So I wore like a lot of hats actually. I was in finance. I worked with the bank. I did Bank of America, HSBC, USAA, Citi, Capital One. I did that for about 15 years. I've been in the workforce. I was 18 years old, so I'm gonna be 36 this year. So I did it for I won't say 15 years. I think my math is a little. Oh no, actually, yeah, I did it for about 12 years. I'm sorry. So for about 12 years, I was in the finance industry, banking. HSBC, I actually worked with mortgages in the bankruptcy department, but everything else was deposits, credit cards, and things like that. And I got into a really bad car accident, and I was able to recover. And then the second time, it was, they were like, you're gonna need surgery eventually. I had twins at the time, and they're like, they're 1 year old. You're not gonna, if you do surgery now, it's not a good idea. And so I was telling my job, I was actually at USA, and I was like, I'm gonna need to sit. Like they're like, we'll work with you. And then I just felt called to more, and I was doing my degree to teach. I was getting my bachelor's. I have my bachelor's in science, and I said, you know what? I'm a mom. I loved being stay at home. I left USA. I said, look, guys, I can't pursue this anymore. I've been with you guys 3 years. I was on track to be a manager, but if I'm out and I can't be there for my team, and then just being a mom out there with my kids, it felt right. I'm like, maybe this is the reason why I got into the car accident, so that I can slow down, because I've always worked, always. Like, and I mean, to stay home with my daughter, I cleaned houses. So I got to stay home with her for 8 months, but the boys, I always went back to work within 6 weeks. So, I mean, I would do shifts. I was taking care of other people's kids. I was always been a person, a go-getter, to hustle for my family. And so I'm like, maybe this is God's way of telling me to slow down. So I applied for a teaching position, and I got it. I actually was a teacher at Marshall Middle School for 6th grade for language arts. I'm sorry, that was actually the first accident. The first accident, I got T-boned. The second one, that's when I was a teacher, and it happened around the end of the school year. So I didn't go back, and I stayed home, and again, but this time I stayed longer. I did like those marketing, I did like It Works, the wraps, to help my husband here and there for money so I could take them on field trips. I was homeschooling them, and then I just started homeschooling, and I did that after teaching. I did that for a year and a half, and starting a tutoring company called Starlight Tutors, which I still one day want to launch it and maybe give it a name, and tutors pay me to be a part of the company, and I send them out to people to tutor, because I do love teaching. I love that. And it's a great concept that they may not be able to build their own clients, but for me, I was able to get clients, homeschool moms, and they were very supportive. I got tapped into a community, and I was able to teach them Spanish. I taught anatomy. I taught zoology. It was really cool. I was a part of a STEAM program, and so I taught language arts. I mean, it was great.
That's awesome. So you've got history in banking, you've got history in teaching, you're a parent, and you got in a couple of bad car accidents that pushed you into this industry. And you know what? It sounds like this is where you needed to be the whole time. It sounds like you're having some great success here.
Yeah, I can do everything, right? I tell people, like, real estate can fund your hobby, and really you can be able to do everything that if you obviously manage your time, which I'm still learning, and you get your ducks in a row and you get on a routine or a program, which is why I started the team, to be able to help do that so that everybody can have their time. I have showings tonight. My worship pastor, they're looking for a house. I'm like, do you mind if my team takes you out? I'm supposed to have date night.
So you got date night tonight. So you've got somebody else going out and show the houses. But I love your energy. You know, it just sounds like you have fun with whatever you do. And it also sounds like you're right. You could do anything. You've got your hands in a lot of places, but it sounds like you do everything really, really well. And that's part of the reason why I'm sure you're great in real estate, because what a lot of people don't understand is that real estate isn't one thing, right? You're marketing, but you've got business sides. There's just so many different elements to this industry that a lot of people don't understand, right? Talk about that. Talk about how your education tools really have helped you in this industry, because I know they have.
So actually, yeah, the coach or the teaching inside of me, like I literally just did a lead gen class on Wednesday with my team. I was there in their face for 2 hours, teaching them like true lead gen, and they were like, "You really need to give a class at the office, because when the new agents come, the lead gen class is not that, right? It's just brushed over." And so for me, that doesn't leave. I wanted to become a team leader so that I can educate other agents. My goal is to have a self-sustaining team to where I can go and coach and teach other agents. And Keller Williams actually has programs that you could do that. You could become a mastermind coach, or you could become a mentor. And so when I heard about that, I was like, oh, that's amazing. But even in my clients, it helps me. Like, for example, my clients now, listings have been crazy. So with my sellers, I sit them down, I educate them. Here's the market. Look, I understand you want $600,000 for this house, but it's only worth $550,000. So, and even with my buyers, like, I help a lot of people in my church. They're not ready yet, but I'm like, let's go out. Let's go see houses. Let's get excited. Let's get pumped up. And when we're in the home, I teach them, okay, this is what you need to look for. Look at the structure of the roof. Look at the electric panel. This is what the label that you need to read on the AC. So I really tried to educate them and let them know this process with the inspections and things like that, how it's going to be. I went to a listing today, and she wants to move to Georgia. And I had to be honest with her. I'm like, you want $300,000 for this place? Yeah, you have land, you have a pool, you have income property on the property, but the actual main house needs work. So I'm not going to be able to, we sell it as is. You're going to have to cut down on your price, or we're going to have to put some elbow grease to go ahead and get it pretty.
Well, this goes back to what I was talking about with the education, because you're doing it in multiple places, and I already knew. I could just tell just by the way that you communicate that you're an educator at heart. And, you're not just educating your agents, right, how to have great success with lead generation. You're educating your consumers as to how to look for the right property, how to find the right home, and also what to look at inside the home. And I have a pretty strong suspicion you're also hoping those homeowners that maybe aren't ready figure out how they can get mortgage ready, based upon, what you're saying here. But you mentioned something, and you said listings are popping right now. Talk about that, because you're busy. That's not necessarily the case for everybody out there. How are you having that great success? How are you getting those listings?
Yeah, I honestly, one of the biggest fears of mine when I left Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, I love the company. I learned a lot, but one of my things was I didn't want to. I realized that I was becoming dependent on some of the leads or some of the things that I was getting from them, and I wasn't. I had reached my ceiling. So one of the things with Keller is I'm around, I mean, some top-notch agents in the office. I mean, they are killing it and selling way more than I could ever fathom or imagine. And they're giving away their secrets. They're not just like where I'm going to this mastermind class and every month it's the same thing over and over. Like, I'm actually learning new things, and I had one top lister in our office gave a class, and he talked about how he knows the neighborhoods like the back of his hand. He's like, educate yourself on zip codes, on neighborhoods. And I'm like, wait a second, I'm actually really good at knowing zip codes. So I just fed off of that strength. And, and how the listing packet that he did, I was like, that's actually very interesting. So I took what he said about his listing packet, and I told the team, well, to stand out, we're going to give out little listing boxes. They're going to have bee soaps. I found little bee, bumblebee, because Hivix, which That's how we got the name. It's hive for bumblebees or bees, and then ox, they work hard, then they're essential. So we're going to have personal branded listing boxes, and they're going to have little bees and a little candle, and it's going to have our CMAs, our bio, how we plan to market the property with little confetti, and they're going to open it up like it's a present. And I have a magazine that I get every couple months printed. I pick out the recipes, I pick out the articles, I pick out what goes inside, and it has our team picture, and that'll go in there as well. And it has tips on getting your home ready, backyard space, and my clients now get them too. So it keeps me top of mind. They get it to their homes. So, and I give it to the new buyers as well. So it's just a way where I take and I make it my own to stand out, because in this business, I'm learning, and I actually learned this with Keller Williams. I took their Bold class, and he said, Forbes magazine said it, or one big company, I think it was Forbes, but they said in the sales environment, no matter what sales, you either need to get on a team or start a team, because people are looking for relationships and they're looking for quality of service.
Yeah, lock arms, right? Link arms.
Yeah.
And hold each other accountable and find ways to create great success. I mean, David, you're listening to what I'm listening to. What do you hear, brother?
Well, what I hear is God has a path for all of us. I'll start with that. And from the conversation I just heard, that he put you as a teacher before he put you in real estate, so that you could teach, educate,
Yep.
and do all those things. You wouldn't be as good as you are today if you didn't have that teaching background. So praise God for that. And number two,
Amen.
I also heard you say that you got into real estate during COVID. That's crazy that you're changing careers during COVID, which
Yeah.
we're gonna explore that in a second. But the next thing I want to really look at is, how do you go from joining a new industry and being at the top of the game of where you're at today, and saying, hey, you know what? Even though I'm as good as I am today, I can be better. I'm going to change brokerage, and I'm going to surround myself with people even better than me, so that I can
Yes.
take their skills and replicate their skills and stuff like that. Well, what I find is this: successful people want to share their
They
successes.
want to help.
They want to help. You know what? A lot of people are scared to talk to successful people because they think that they're not going to help you out. The most successful people are the most helpful people. If you just are open to whatever they have to say and do. And what's the saying? You are the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. So you just leveled up. What I heard whenever you went to the burger. Let's talk about this. 4 years, the success you had from there to now, and the driving force that keeps you going to keep leveling up.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like I love my Berkshire family. I have friends that I still talk to, that I met at conferences. I was in Detroit, and I had her come and visit me and hang out. She lives in Detroit, and she was a Berkshire agent. We'd always hang out at conferences. So, we always make relationships. But I feel like in this industry, it can be so competitive, and people will be happy for you, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm so happy for you," but secretly they're not. And I right now, my work mom, we were all at the same brokerage. We've all left, and guess what? We meet monthly for lunches. She's at Remax. Our work mom is at a boutique brokerage that belongs to her friend. Before that, she went to Century 21 to be an elites coach. I'm obviously with Keller Williams. My other friend that she's a realtor also. She's was with us. She's with Remax. I have another friend that's with Coldwell Banker. And we meet with each other, and we're uplifting each other, and we're in community. That it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. And I think that people forget, and they tend to try to be so competitive, like you need to be over here, and it's not necessarily the case, and it's not necessarily true. You might blossom at another brokerage, but I'm blossoming over at Keller, and I don't know what the Lord has for me, and what his plans are, but I know that this is where he has placed me, and the way that everything was ordained. And I'm still happy for those people that are there. I'm still happy for my friends that, even though they didn't come to Keller, they are, and I meet them, and we pour into each other, and we share ideas. We share ideas about what they're doing. My work on literally will be like, oh, you should try this lead gen system. And my work mom, she actually has a lead team that she passes out leads to, and we're all with different brokerages. And before, she was only restricted to pass them out in the brokerage. And she's like, these are leads I'm paying for. So now she realized, she's like, wait a second, I can create an income from this. 30% pass out leads to people who are closing no matter what brokerage there are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and you talked about, you know, the successful agents that you've met at Keller Williams and how they're willing to share. And that actually brings up something to me. You know, we have a philosophy here. We call it just ask. In fact, my videographer John's over here wearing our just ask t-shirt. And where that stems from is Steve Jobs. It's from Steve Jobs. And what Steve talks about was when he was a young boy, he had watched a gentleman, Mr. Packard of Hewlett Packard, do a presentation on some computer software and equipment. And there was some parts that he needed for a computer. And so what he did is he ended up picking up the phone book at a very young age, and he looked up Mr. Packard's phone number and just reached out to him and called him, right? And here's this young kid who doesn't know any better, reaching out to the CEO of Hewlett Packard, who at the time was a giant in the industry. And he answers the phone and he says, hey, I'm Steve Jobs, and I'm doing this project at school, and I need these parts for my computer. Would you happen to have any spare parts that I could utilize? And Mr. Packard said, you know what? Absolutely, you can. In fact, now I'd love for you to intern with us. And what he said here was, and I think this is what's really important, is that people want to help people. They genuinely care to help people, especially the successful ones. But most people are afraid
Yes.
to ask for the help. And what you're talking about here is you weren't afraid to go to these top tier agents and ask for the help. And guess what? They're more than willing to share that knowledge with you because they want to see other people have success. And I love that. And I absolutely love that.
Well, I mean, and you know, I don't mean to sound like a Bible thumper, but the Bible talks about, right? You know, and we talk about that, and people say that it's crazy, but it's really not. If you really just come from a place of being genuine and humble and willing to learn. And I tell people all the time now too, like I'll have agents that come and interview, and I tell them, look, no matter what brokerage you decide to pick, I'm still here. You can call me and I'll mentor you if you have a question. My good friend, actually, who's on my team now, she would still call me for advice and help. And I told her, I said, look, just because I've left doesn't mean that I'm not here for you. You were my friend beforehand. You're my sister in Christ. That's not going to change. And so I really think it should be preached more that this is this business should be more of a community, and it should be more of us having each other's back, just like any workforce, right? Everybody wants to have a healthy workplace that they enjoy going to. And you know, I'm a part of a top producer group here, and it's ran by Don Hill, and it's called Real Tampa Bay Real Producers, and he's a believer also, but he's getting all these top producers to do podcasts, to events, to network, to teach others. They do masterminds,
Right.
panels, so that way it doesn't stay inside, but it's expanded. And I really think that that's important. You know, I actually admire people like you guys and, you know, people like him that are out doing that, because in the workforce, sometimes it's not like that. And even in this business, it can be very cutthroat.
You talk about community, and you know that's exactly how we met Craig. We're a member of the Mortgage Marketing Animals and the Freedom Club, and you know that's how Craig met us. We follow a very specific sales process. We link arms, and we work together to find great success. And one of those things, like you mentioned, the podcast. This is one of the things that we do. But also, you know, we actually have, we do what's called Call Stars. We get up every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and now Friday. And we link arms together as a team, and we call all the people that we need to call to have great success. success, and we do it together so that we can push each other and motivate each other and help each other to become successful. And that's how we found Craig. That's how Craig found us. And at the end of the day, I think this is one thing that like you said, the industry was missing for a long time is, other like-minded, like-hearted people that want to push each
Yes.
other to have great success and share trade secrets because there's a big market out there. And you know what? If you take it from the approach that you took, which is we're servants and we're going to serve our people, and it doesn't matter if you work here and you work here, but if we link arms and do it together, we're going to provide a great service to the people that we're there to help.
Yes, and I really believe that. And real estate here, our market is strong. It did get a little scary with the rates, but I live in Florida, so people are relocating here, right? So
Yep.
they are wanting to a piece of paradise. So as I sit outside and it's hot.
I was just in Florida. Yeah, I'm a little tanner. I was up north. I was up in the Seaside, Rosemary Beach area, and
Oh,
we got some rain for the first few days, right? But that rain washed away, and man, out came the sun,
Yeah.
and wow, man, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You guys, and I've been down in your neck of the woods. I was in Clearwater back in October of last year, and it is paradise. It is absolutely beautiful in that Tampa Bay area.
Yeah, it
So
is.
you guys are selling sunshine.
Yeah, yeah, we are. It's funny. I when I had a van that was like a burnt orange, but it was bright and shiny. And my daughter goes, "Mom, look, you're selling sunshine." So that's literally what they would call the car. But yeah, it's everyone's coming down here, whether to buy Airbnbs, relocating, and it's crazy. And so. I feel like there's enough to go around for everyone, and if we just educate and give them a good service, we're doing our job.
That's right. Well, Craig, you brought Luz here on the show. Talk to us a little bit about your relationship. How did you find Luz?
well, actually, I had seen her, like I said, for well over a year.
Yeah,
And then a good buddy of mine posted a picture of him closing his home, and Luce was there with him. And so I called him up and I said, "Hey, I'm in the mortgage business. Who was your realtor?" And he said it was Luce. I said, "Okay." So I made it a point to go introduce myself at church.
that's awesome.
And again, it's, when you're up on the stage, you're almost a
Oh
celebrity
God.
there. And so I would see her all the time. Didn't know if she'd ever seen me before or not. Didn't matter. But we've started building a relationship. And, I've got to meet her husband. And, it's been great. Her husband does some amazing things with video. And they make a great team, especially in this real
Yes,
estate
yeah,
world.
I say that,
That's
he's my
awesome.
right hand man. He does really good photography. He's very OCD about his stuff and his videography and photography, and he handles that for the team, thankfully. So,
Well, that's great. One, talk about that family life a little bit. We always like to dive into that. We know you're super successful, and it sounds like in more than just real estate, you've got a lot of things out there that you're doing to help the community and those around you. But talk about your family life a little bit.
yeah, that's actually
What do you do when you're not selling houses?
that's actually why I'm outside. The kids are inside. Literally, I can see them. They're like playing around, making noise. Craig actually heard them. They were upstairs. All was quiet, and then all of a sudden, Mom gets on video, and they did not want to leave. I'm like, "Can you guys please go back upstairs?"
Yeah.
But so my husband and I have been married for 14 and a half years. And we have four beautiful kids. We took in our niece. She just loved living with us. And so she ended up staying with us for 5 years, but she just got married in January. He walked her down the aisle. I walked with my sister down the aisle, her mom. And so we're very big on family. They come over for Sunday. So Sunday, I try not to work. But obviously, in this market, it can get crazy. The houses, if you price them right, they're still flying off the market. There's still multiple offer situations. And then, of course, there's still some where you are giving concessions. But on Sundays, we try to cook, do family time, get in the pool, watch movie night, go get ice cream, or she'll cook. Oh my God, that's her new thing now. They're like, I want cookies. So they'll call her and say, can you bring us or bake us cookies? And she makes fresh cookies. Like she bakes them fresh stuff. So now that she's married, she's like, she lives like 10 minutes away. So she's able to do that. So we're really big on family. Um, I love to be out on the water. I love my tagline is "at loose around the bay." So I love being around. I'll go to Clearwater. I'll go to St. Pete. Like we'll take them everywhere. We love to hike. We'll go to Georgia. 3 to 4 times a year we try. Last year we went 4 times. This year will probably be just once or twice. But we do staycations in Orlando. We love Disney. I have my little ears that I wear. I think Craig has called me a couple times, and I'm like, I'm about to get on a ride with the kids, and we were at Busch Gardens yesterday. So we can't stay put.
You have fun.
Yeah, I have a 15-year-old, an 11-year-old, and twins that are 7.5. So you can't stay put.
That's awesome. Let me ask you a quick question off topic. Did you ride Guardians of the Galaxy yet?
Yes. So awesome.
Is it not
It
awesome?
is so I would say it's number one up with the Velocicoaster. I keep calling it the Velociraptor, but that's the name of the dinosaur. But the Velocicoaster is really cool also, and that one's at Islands of Adventure.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't been to that one. I did Guardians of the Galaxy last year and definitely was my number
Yes.
one ever since.
Believe it or not, we actually met. We were in Atlanta. We were actually in Georgia for the weekend of 4th of July. And we met a guy that apparently goes around and rides roller coasters for fun. And he does videos and stuff like that. He lives in Atlanta. And he actually told us that Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens is his favorite. Guardians is second, and the coaster is his third. So I'm like, I gotta go ride Iron Gwazi. I tried to ride it yesterday, but we ended up getting rained on, so they closed it down.
Big surprise getting rained on in Florida.
But then it's sunshine.
Well, I'll tell you what. It comes out. It comes out, but it's definitely going to rain. You're gonna get some rain down there. So, well, Luz, we'd love to have you on here all day, but we do have to wrap these things up sometime. So, I was going to ask you, what didn't we talk about today?
I don't know. I think we pretty much hit everything. I love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you, Craig, for having me on. I'm looking forward to doing business together and teaching and educating our people, right? So, but no, pretty much, I think we touched everything I wanted to say. So I could talk forever if you couldn't tell. So.
Oh, so can I. So can I. Well, hey, if the people want to find you out there, and they should, especially if you want to have a great time and have somebody there that's really going to hold your hand and help you through that process with a caring and educational heart, Luz, how they find you out there? What's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, so I'm on social media on Facebook and Instagram, and I have a TikTok as well at Luz, Luz, around the bay. And we also have at the Hivix group, HIVOX. And they can reach me there. I have an email or website with Keller as well, which is lcolon.kw.com. And but if they can reach me on social media, I will call, I will email. I really try to be communicative. The new thing that social media has started though is that it separates your IM. So like I realized there's like someone who wrote me 4 days ago, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. So if you do that, just try to send the message or make sure that you email me as well, or you look at my phone number. My phone number is on all social media. We did start a YouTube channel. We're going to be working with that. We have someone on the team that is doing her YouTube as well, so they can do the YouTube, and I believe it's at Loose Around the Bay as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Love to see you taking action out there and getting your name out there because you're amazing, and everybody needs to know how to find you, especially if they're looking to buy it out there in Florida in that Tampa Bay area. So, Craig, how about you, brother? How do the folks find you if they want to get some great services on the mortgage side?
Well, the easiest way to reach me is certainly by phone, 727-480-8122. You can also go to the Dubuque Team website and find me there. But I'm
Yes, you
on
can.
active on social media, as well. Craig Fawcett, pretty easy to find on um, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So those are all vehicles that I use to reach out and help people. And I like exactly what Lou said. You know, we got to help teach people and educate people. And
That's
I
right.
love that because I've got an education background as well. So
You do.
didn't know that Luce and I were so closely connected.
I love it. I love it. Well, David, how about you, brother? Anything you'd like to throw in before we call it a day?
No, I just want to thank my Florida connection, Craig and Luz, for being on our show today. Definitely the highlight of my day.
Well, guys, it's been awesome having you here, Luz. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for your
Thank you.
time, and thanks for everything you're doing out there in the community to serve and educate. We appreciate you. And Craig, brother, we definitely appreciate you, my friend. And thank you for bringing Luz on the show as
Thank you
well.
guys so much.
Thanks, guys, for
Yes,
having us.
thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuque.
I'm David Wynn.
And if you want to find us, you can check us out at www.realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all your listening platforms. And if you want to see the video, which you should, come check us out on YouTube. We're at Real Estate Success Partner or at the Dubuque Team. And we'd love for you to follow. And we absolutely appreciate those 5-star reviews. Until the next time, we'll see you then.
Bye, guys.